Many directors strive to become renowned for their filmmaking and storytelling identity, the distinct trademarks that distinguish them from their peers. In this pursuit, many filmmakers have become auteurs, directors with such strong stylistic tendencies that their work is instantly recognizable no matter the picture. While the likes of Quentin Tarantino, Wes Anderson, and the Coen brothers have become world famous for this reason, there are plenty of directors who have flourished on the back of their versatility more so than their one-track vision. With names like Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese populating this list, it should still be noted that these filmmakers still have identifiable qualities, with some even adhering to specific genres more so than others. However, all of them have displayed an inspired mastery across numerous genres. It is no coincidence that all 10 of these directors are heralded among the greatest filmmakers of all time. Number 10, Sir Ridley Scott, science fiction, horror, period drama, crime. When it comes to truly mastering genres which demand specific and strong stylistic and narrative decisions, there are few filmmakers as astute and acclaimed as Ridley Scott. He rewrote the rules and possibilities of horror cinema with Alien before pioneering a new aesthetic and image of science fiction with the neon-soaked, neo-noir masterpiece Blade Runner. Scott has returned to sci-fi several times since, namely with 2015's The Martian and his continued work on the Alien franchise. Another of his greatest achievements is 2000's period revenge epic Gladiator, while his progressive feminist road crime movie Thelma and Louise is another of his defining masterpieces. While his versatility is easy to admire, it is fascinating to observe Scott's filmography and examine how he uses creativity and visual details to conjure up spellbinding spectacles no matter the genre. This dates back to his debut outing in the period drama The Duelists, and remains a hallmark of his best work today. Number 9, Rob Reiner, comedy, coming-of-age drama, fantasy adventure, romance, horror. After breaking into the industry as an actor occupying supporting roles in film and television, Rob Reiner made an immediate impression in the director's chair with his debut picture This Is Spinal Tap, a film that remains a timeless comedy classic. Just in the rest of the 80s alone, Reiner emphasized his versatility, directing the coming-of-age masterpiece Stand By Me, the cherished fantasy adventure The Princess Bride, and the rom-com classic When Harry Met Sally. The 90s saw him expand into horror/thriller with Misery, courtroom drama with A Few Good Men, and political dramedy with The American President. One of Reiner's most defining strengths as a filmmaker has always been his deft mastery of tone and ability to ensure all his stories, no matter the genre, are perfectly imbued with charm, acidic wit, intimidating malice, and/or heart-stopping suspense. He is easily among the greatest directors of all time who have never been nominated for an Academy Award. Number 8, Danny Boyle, black comedy, science fiction, horror, neo-noir, crime drama, survival thriller. Not only a fantastically versatile filmmaker, Danny Boyle has also proven himself time and time again to be a genius when it comes to juggling genre and tone with individual pictures. As such, he has often released movies that are technically the same genre yet have a completely different impact on audiences. This has been true since his very first features when he debuted with the black comedy neo-noir Shallow Grave and followed it up with the similarly cynical crime comedy Trainspotting. His zombie horror classic 28 Days Later remains one of the best movies this subgenre has ever seen, while 2007's Sunshine is among the most underrated sci-fi thrillers of all time, and 127 Hours stands as an unforgettably brutal survival biopic. Boyle's one Academy Award win came for his direction of Slumdog Millionaire. Number 7, Ang Lee, period romance, martial arts action, romance, adventure. After making a couple of movies in his homeland of Taiwan in the early 1990s, Ang Lee made a strong impression on audiences with his breakout English period drama Sense and Sensibility, a character-driven tale of romantic angst that remains one of the best adaptations of Jane Austen's work. While he followed it up with a couple of box office flops, he soon returned to form with the modern martial arts masterpiece Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which earned him his first Best Director nomination. 5 years after that, he received a second nomination for his groundbreaking and urgently progressive romantic drama Brokeback Mountain, before finally winning the award for 2012's dazzling adventure Life of Pi. Granted, Lee's career has had some lows along the way, but he has proven himself multiple times now to be a director capable of enchanting audiences with narrative, tone, and visual style. Number 6. Fritz Lang, science fiction, fantasy, film noir, crime thriller. One of cinema's earliest masters, Fritz Lang first made a name for himself during the silent era, with arguably his most famous film coming in the form of the silent sci-fi Metropolis. While making silent pictures, he also presented an awe-inspiring fantasy epic in the form of his two The Nibelungs movies and showed an early talent for scintillating crime thrillers in parts 1 and 2 of Dr. Mabuse the Gambler. Lang's transition to sound yielded instant rewards, with 1931's M seeing him truly master crime suspense while making pioneering advancements in the use of sound and camera movement. After meeting with a peculiar admirer in Joseph Goebbels, the Jewish Lang fled Germany, eventually arriving in America, where his first U.S. film was 1930's SIXS Fury. Through the 40s and 50s, he became one of Hollywood's most renowned film noir directors, with The Woman in the Window and The Big Heat his two most enduring classics in the genre. Number 5. Martin Scorsese, crime drama, historical epic, psychological thriller, romance, musical, family adventure, black comedy. It is difficult to comment on any form of directorial excellence and not mention Martin Scorsese. He is obviously most famous for his work in crime cinema, with Goodfellas, Casino, The Departed, and recent epics The Irishman and Killers of the Flower Moon making up some of the most acclaimed films the genre has seen in the last 50 years. He has applied a similar intensity and commentary on violence to his psychological thrillers like Taxi Driver, Cape Fear, and Shutter Island. However, some of his best pictures have come in his most severe genre pivots. Hugo is a truly wondrous family adventure, New York a fascinating musical, and The Age of Innocence is an enchanting period romance. Scorsese's interest in period pieces has become a defining aspect of his career of late as well, with Silence a noteworthy religious historical epic. If one considers The Wolf of Wall Street and The King of Comedy as dark comedies and Raging Bull as a sports biopic, then there are few genres Scorsese hasn't shown a level of excellence in throughout his astonishing career. Number 4. Billy Wilder, romantic comedy, film noir, war, drama, courtroom thriller. Given the enduring fame of many of his contemporaries, it would be easy to make a case suggesting Billy Wilder is one of the most overlooked directors by today's audiences. A reason for this societal oversight may be the fact that he did pivot between genres so frequently. While he did eventually become known for romantic comedies in the back half of his career, with films like The Apartment, Sabrina, and Some Like It Hot among his greatest achievements, Wilder was always relatively subtle yet effective with his style, giving his films a remarkably modern feel when watched today. He mastered classic noir with Sunset Boulevard and Double Indemnity, two of the best movies the genre has seen. The Lost Weekend won numerous awards as a wry drama. Stalag 17 offered a unique perspective on war cinema, and Witness for the Prosecution remains one of the greatest courtroom thrillers of all time. A true master of cinematic storytelling, Billy Wilder is one of the greatest talents Hollywood has ever seen, as well as one of the most versatile. Number 3. Steven Spielberg, blockbuster, horror, war, science fiction, fantasy, action-adventure, drama. One of the most celebrated filmmakers of all time, Steven Spielberg has always been a director who changed genres from one picture to the next. His major breakthrough in Jaws remains one of the best horror movies ever made, an achievement he followed up with the excellent sci-fi Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He has mastered war cinema with Saving Private Ryan and Schindler's List, created spellbinding fantasy adventures with Raiders of the Lost Ark and Jurassic Park, and perfected historical biopics with films like Lincoln, Bridge of Spies, and even Amistad. The delightful thing about Spielberg's career is how he has been able to experiment and pivot between genres while still maintaining an overall sense of familiar blockbuster charm. Throughout his career that has spanned across half a century, Spielberg has been nominated for Best Director on 9 occasions and won the award twice. But his legacy will always be in how he has managed to be formative of the new age of American cinema while constantly evolving as a visual storyteller. Number 2, Akira Kurosawa, period epic, action-adventure, crime thriller, tragedy, thriller. Often heralded as being the single greatest filmmaker of all time, Akira Kurosawa is world famous for his vast filmography. Many immediately think of his samurai movies, and even within just those there is sensational scope, ranging from sprawling epics like Seven Samurai and Ran to taut thrillers like Throne of Blood and Rashomon, and even to exhilarating action-adventures like The Hidden Fortress. Kurosawa's work set in contemporary times is no less extraordinary though. He excelled in crime cinema with such pictures as Drunken Angel, High and Low, and The Bad Sleep Well, while his dramatic and poignantly triumphant tragedy Ikiru is viewed by many to be his greatest film. With a brilliant sensitivity towards many forms of narrative as well as the mesmerizing visual presentation of his pictures, Akira Kurosawa's filmography endures as a captivating embodiment of the possibilities of cinema and the many ways the medium can move, inspire, and appeal to viewers. And number 1, the person who widely considered one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, Stanley Kubrick, science fiction, comedy, horror, anti-war, historical epic, psychological thriller. Few directors have truly mastered genres the way Stanley Kubrick so famously did throughout his career, which yielded a somewhat low total of just 13 movies. While the lens he cast upon society, his unique yet inspired framing techniques, and his striking narrative focuses have made him distinct, the way he applied his tendencies to different genres was truly remarkable. Perhaps the greatest testament to both his versatility and his excellence is the fact he directed Dr. Strangelove, which is widely regarded to be among the best comedies ever made, The Shining, a horror held in similar regard, and 2001, A Space Odyssey, which is viewed as being the pinnacle of sci-fi cinema. He also made exceptionally powerful anti-war movies in Paths of Glory and Full Metal Jacket, seismic historical epics in Barry Lyndon and his Dassault Spartacus, and intriguing thrillers in A Clockwork Orange, Eyes Wide Shut, The Killing, and even the polarizing Lolita. The sheer vastness of his filmography, as well as his continual brilliance, makes Kubrick arguably the single greatest filmmaker of all time.